child-free. Since the last summer, I'm not quite child-free anymore. At the beginning of June, a tragedy happened in our family. My husband's brother and his wife were both killed in a traffic accident, and they left behind their 7-year-old son. My husband is his only living relative, and we both realized that it would be cruel to ship him off to an orphanage when there's someone here to take care of him. Child-free or not, my husband wouldn't leave his own blood, which I can understand very well. I wouldn't be able to leave my nieces either if something happened to my sister. So we adopted the boy. And I wouldn't say it's been too loud, and he's a quiet child, well-behaved, still quite sad after the loss of his parents. But what makes me really mad is the comments of my colleagues and acquaintances who have found out we have a child in our family now. At the end of August, we were shopping together because he had to start school, and we met a colleague of mine. She was like, "You see? What did I tell you? No woman can stay child-free forever." I said, "Listen, shut up. You don't know how this child came to be here with me. So don't jump to any conclusion when you don't know crap about the situation." She said, "It doesn't matter. You're a mother now." What do you mean doesn't matter? The fact that 2 people died doesn't matter to you? So she spread this news to all my colleagues, and when I came back to my job, everyone was like, "Congratulations, mommy. Remember how you said you'll never have children, and look at you now. Now you must understand what it means to be a mother, and you'll realize what it means to be tired. Now you're finally a real woman." I always knew you're not really child-free. First of all, I'm not his mother. I'm just his uncle's wife. And secondly, I'm still not tired because the boy helps me and does a lot of things himself. He's not that little anymore. Everyone thinks that I've suddenly started to want children. Not a single person understands that I didn't have much of a choice. Sometimes you just have to do what's right even if it's not what you really want. I don't think it's out of line to remind people that this isn't an appropriate topic for the workplace, and or if you feel comfortable enough saying so, that there's been a tragedy in the family, and glib comments like that are a bit painful in the face of a loss. Someone in your family has died, and they may well have been people you cared about deeply. The only appropriate response to this situation are condolences and offers of assistance, should you need it. With that said, I'm sorry for your loss. I hope you, your husband, and your nephew all have the resources to cope with the loss and are surrounded by people to give comfort and care. This is what happened to me when I was a kid. Didn't have any other relatives who wanted me, I guess, so my aunt and uncle took me in when I was 8. I'm extremely grateful in ways that I can't really express because I understand that they sacrificed a lot in terms of their lifestyle in order to take care of me and make sure I didn't end up in a bad place. F all of your stupid coworkers. They can't possibly understand what it's like to make that change or to have someone accept you and take you in when most people would run away from the responsibility. I know it's not at all an ideal situation, but I hope that it's a net positive for you in the end. I like to think that it was a net positive too for my aunt and uncle, and I don't think I turned out too bad either. Now you know what it's like to be tired. This makes me so angry. A friend of mine recently had a baby with her husband. I was already pretty skeptical of the reasons. We want to see what it's like. We might enjoy parenthood. We're just going to give it a go. Since they both hadn't wanted children up until this point. She got pregnant almost immediately, and the baby arrived in October. By December, they had both absolutely had enough. They were desperately throwing money at every possible fix for this baby that was making their lives hell. "She cries all the time." They complained as if this was something unusual for a baby. "She won't sleep a full night. We both need 9 hours. Unbelievable. When she was 5 weeks old, they decided they were going to put her into a nursery or daycare full time. They were really excited that they had found the solution. Baby can spend 8 hours a day in nursery and they can deal with all the boring stuff and the crying. Then she'll be all fun and smiley when we get her back and we'll tell them to keep her awake all day so she sleeps at night." There was also this classic line, "Well, we don't really want a baby. We want a family." I stayed out of this because I didn't really think I'd be able to hold my tongue, but our mutual friend gave them a lot of advice and some harsh words. What it all boiled down to is that they needed a minimum of 9 hours sleep per night, and they were getting in between 4 and 5. At this point, I should mention that I struggled with insomnia for about a decade. 45 hours straight sleep would be a huge success for me. They both knew this and had the perfect evidence that this was true because they'd been chatting to me all the hours of the night or early morning, so they knew I was awake when they were. They also know that I have a chronic illness that has had me in and out of hospital for the past 2 years, at one time for 3 months straight. They know this exacerbates and is exacerbated by insomnia. Oh, and the cherry on top, I've been through it. I've listened with my sister and her baby for the first 9 months of his life. I understand. Yet they still tell me how much harder it is for them and how no one could possibly understand tiredness until they had a baby. They were still complaining about how exhausting it was, even once they got a schedule down that allowed them to both sleep at least 7 hours straight per night. If being a parent was really the hardest job in the world, then there really wouldn't be so many people doing it. I absolutely agree that it's very difficult and exhausting, one of my many reasons why I'm child-free, but so are other things. You don't have to have a monopoly on misery just because you had a kid.